Well, look who we have here, everybody. A
Oh,
familiar face. You may know her. Jennifer English. How are you, my love?
I'm all right. I'm all right. It's really nice to be back. I can't, like, we were just chatting before the recording in progress, and we worked out it's been nearly 2 years since I was last on here, Dan Allen Gaming.
Goes too
And
quick, doesn't it?
it's, yeah, it feels like a million years ago and no time at all. As a person that
Yeah,
has no perception of time, it's hard for me to tell. I can't even tell when 5 minutes has passed. But yeah, it like life has changed a lot, and since we last spoke, it's a nice like marker.
how would you describe the
Absolute madness. Um, it's weird because like I'm sitting in my lounge right now, and other than new photo frames that I'm like has and a lot more books, um like my immediate vicinity hasn't changed, my family hasn't changed, my it's like
Mm.
that kind of the real nitty gritty hasn't actually changed, but then everything else has had a complete overhaul. And yeah, it's been the best couple of years of my entire life. End of.
That's
We've
cool.
on this kind of Baldur's Gate 3 tour.
The
And now
never-ending
and
tour.
now Expedition.
Oh, that's gonna keep going. I feel like it's not. It doesn't
It's like
slow
I
down.
really no, and I really thought it would have slowed down. We kind of gave it 6 months. We're like, yeah, no, but a few months, like nobody's going to be interested in it anymore. They'll have moved on, and we were really told like people move on from
Mm.
games. Like it's a very like fast cycle. And yeah, no, people haven't. I think the advantage of having a game with a million hours worth of content, not literally a million, just to
No, it's
clarify.
close actually. It really is.
And now with
Oh.
new subclasses, it's even more. So
Well, you would know because you've beaten it, right, on your stream. Yeah, you've
yeah,
totally.
yeah, we're still in Act Three. Like we thought we'd have finished it by now. No, I don't think anyone had high hopes. The thing
Oh,
is
okay.
that I'm doing my own playthrough of both Expedition and Baldur's Gate 3, like on our own. And we're obsessed with both. And we are look under every rock people. That's who we are. Well, it's
Yeah.
certainly who Aliona is. No, even in my own solo playthrough, I go into every single building and talk to every NPC. Otherwise, it's rude. Like that's detail that the devs have put in for a
Yeah.
reason.
So in the Gestral Village, you would go up to every Gestral kind of thing. Yeah.
Obviously, especially because we know the Sandfall team, and they're all named after, like, so many of the Gestrels and the other NPCs are named after people in the Sandfall team. So it'd be like ignoring someone at a party.
I noticed that there's a Gestral with a guitar and it was
Called Laureate.
Laureate. Yeah. But I didn't know
Yeah.
the whole team was in the. That's so
I'm
cool.
like I don't know. I haven't. Don't quote me
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah, I
But
know, I know.
that's just a lot of names with the same name as people we've met at Sandfall. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
fantastic. I wanted to ask you quickly as well on Baldur's Gate. What's the weirdest gift you've got from a fan?
Oh, so many, Dan. So many. No, to be fair,
Don't
um,
answer that actually.
yeah, I was going to say I won't answer that. This is one of my favorites, and from the same person, this wonderful man called Paul.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to have favorites, but Paul is definitely
Ah,
up there.
yeah.
And he got me a copy. It's not weird, but he got me a copy of first edition of Master and Margarita, which is one of my favorite novels of all time. And he
Oh,
also
nice.
he also
What a
got
great gift.
a great gift. This young lady, because Aliona, my girlfriend, plays Corinna the squirrel for all of 5 minutes, and of course, forget the 4 years of directing beautiful performances. This is now what she's known for. And so this is we've called her Jemima. She's not taxidermy, but she does
Oh, okay.
she does have a soul. I mean, look at her. So
Don't get too close.
I get clear, like she, and I swear it's only me she gives eye contact to, and it's very intense. So
do
yeah,
you take her for walks or what?
just like people do with cats on a harness, and everyone like looks at you a bit strange. No, no, we're not
Uh,
that creepy. But
okay.
yeah, we do hide her in places because she's quite alarming. So
She's
we all
cute.
often like hide her in the fridge or like on top of the plates in the cupboard just to make you absolutely shit yourself. So
Oh,
yeah, so she's
oh,
one of my she's one of I'm going to move her out of sight
she
because
could
otherwise
join. She could join on the couch if you really
she's going to
want.
distract me, fam, let alone
She'll
anyone else.
distract me too. Yeah. Let's keep her
Just
away.
like, why is the
Oh
squirrel
God. I
eating
love how we're
me?
like 10 minutes in, just I don't know what's been said, but it's great fun. I tell you what, it's great fun.
Sorry.
No, no, it's my fault. The
One day someone will pay for me to read the training and it'll all be over. And I'll be really professional.
I one day you should do like a tour of all your books and like go through your favorites and on your
I would
YouTube
love
or something.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like Tim Downey does it so beautifully, and I feel like now I'm like that's his thing. I'm not going to take that from Tim.
Ah,
But I
yeah.
do, yeah, I do read a lot, and I've upped it now. Like post Baldur's Gate 3, I was reading nothing because I was just like in the state of constant overwhelm. And I mean, I say I wasn't reading nothing. I was probably reading 2 books a month, but for me, that's nothing.
Yeah.
And now I've upped it again, and I feel very proud of myself. I'm like, that's a good indication of my mental health. Can I read? Yes. Yay.
Do you read on the plane to these cons? Do you sleep or do you watch shows or all three?
All of the above.
Yeah.
And I've now got, so yeah, I do read a lot. I try and watch as many films as I can. Although, like, yeah, the problem is that the planes have a limited. We always fly British Airways when we can because get those points, babies. And like you run out of the new films, and I can't be bothered to watch films I've watched before at the moment. I go through phases with that. Sometimes I only watch films I've watched before. But
Mm.
all that is to say, I have got myself a Switch and a Steam Deck
Oh,
because
nice.
the gamer girly now.
Wow, you
Uh,
are a gamer girl. Shit.
I'm fully like we've been fully converted, having never. I mean, I played games as a teenager, but like certainly not really as an adult. And started with Baldur's Gate 3. That was my gateway drug,
Yeah.
and or our gateway drug. And now we are fully gamer girlies, which is a really wonderful thing. And I
Yeah.
can't believe I've been sleeping on gaming for all my adult life. So yeah, so I've been playing a lot of the Steam Deck, and really, really enjoying a lot of games on that and the Switch. So yeah, so all of the above. But I love traveling. I don't enjoy jet lag. I'm rubbish at that. But I really enjoy traveling. So and I like being bored.
Well, you've been
Um,
to South Africa, haven't you? I didn't know you went
not
to
not 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 since no, that was a
years
few years
ago.
ago.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd love
okay.
to go again though. Yeah, Cape Town was really cool.
Mm.
But no, where have we been? We've been to Beijing. I absolutely adored. I think that's one of my favorite places. We've been
Why?
to.
Why is one of you? Is there a reason? Is it
It was
just
just
the?
I'd never been to China, and
Mm.
I think we have a lot of perceptions of China from being from the West that are actually completely incorrect. Like, I think we were really worried about being gay in China, and it was one of the most comfortably gay places we've been. And we saw loads of gay couples and like visible gay couples in Beijing, and loved the history, loved everything about it, and I really would recommend people going. Um,
Cool.
so yeah, so that was really fantastic, and I can't remember what the question was, Dan. I
The
just started
question,
talking about
your
Beijing.
beautiful. Here's the question. Your beautiful girlfriend, Aliona, she said that this might beat out Shadowheart, this performance as Maelle in Expedition 33. How proud are you of the team? How proud are you of your own performance? And how are you feeling?
So so proud of this team. Like I've never worked with such a small team before. There aren't many games with such a small team, the development
Yeah.
team. And I've met nearly everyone now, and
Wow.
they are the most passionate, gorgeous, funny, brilliant, clever group of humans. They are brilliant and really care about the game they've made. And you know, this has been their life for years now. And yeah, we were really lucky because it's such a small team, and I think it afforded that. But I think also they cared so much about the actors on this project, and I think it really shows.
Oh yeah.
They were there, like Guillaume and Jen were there. Guillaume, as in the creative director,
Creative.
and Jen, who was lead writer and voice producer. They were there for every one of my sessions, and you know, that's like in person, despite not being from the UK. So you know, it's just a real testament to how much of a shit they gave, which was it was a big shit. Okay. And we cared so much about it as a cast as a result. And I mean, we cared so much about it from the offset. I think all of us read the script and went, yes, please.
Oh yeah.
But it was something I auditioned for, I think. And that kind of makes me care about it even more, because I I I mean, I
You
said
earned
yes.
it.
Yeah, and I earned it a bit,
Yeah.
and hopefully earned it.
You did. You
But
did.
thanks. And you know, I sent the audition off, going, God, I really hope I get this one. And they didn't recognize me as Shadowheart from it. I mean, everyone else did from one line in the trailer, but they didn't. Maybe they didn't
Uh,
at party and I need to murder them for that. But no, I'm joking. No, they had been playing it. They had been playing it. But I think they were obviously not expecting that. And yeah, they just thought I was right for the role, which is a real, like, it's really comforting, because you know you've not got the job for a particular reason other than just being right. And as far as being proud of my performance, yeah, I massively am. And I think it was absolutely terrifying, if I'm honest, going straight from a game like Baldur's Gate 3 and a part like Shadowheart, which was such a gift and one of the best roles I'll ever play. Going like, how on earth do I follow that? Because you know, people can just turn around and go, yeah, it's not Shadowheart though, is it? Don't care. And that was a real fear. But also, like, what if I'm not as good? What if I let people down? What if I let the game down? Like, you have all these fears. And I think what was really wonderful is that I was very well cared for and collaborated with by the team. And I just got to use everything I learned from those 4.5 years that I recorded as Shadowheart, and put them into practice and put those skills into practice. And like she is like with Shadowheart, but Maelle is just such a gift of a part. And I'm watching my performance now, which is always like, ooh, you feel so vulnerable, because I think we move very quickly in recording.
yeah.
And there isn't a lot of time, you know, like when you're doing a film or something, you have like, you know, weeks of preparation usually, but also you're doing a really limited amount of time to do this, like, you know, a big emotional scene, especially in something like a fantasy, which is huge stakes and very technical and blah blah. So in a film, you know, you would do maybe 2 to 5 minutes a day or something like that, or 2 pages a day, I think is the usual average for like a big budget film. And you know, we would do that in seconds. You know, it was
Yeah.
like, move on, like we might do like a few takes but barely any. And you're moving so quickly, so there wasn't time for me to freak out about it and freak out about the big emotions. And so I kind of had to lay my soul very bare, and I do in this game. And that's really scary to share with the world. So yeah, I didn't want to do it disservice, because everyone experiences some kind of loss in their lives. You know, whether that's a breakup, or you know, it can be even on a tiny scale, but that can feel huge. And so yeah, you want to do something that's very authentic and very truthful. And it felt like that to me when I was recording, and it was very exposing. So then sharing that with the world, and we didn't know how big the game was going to be, but I knew a few people were going to play it anyway. Yeah, it was really, really scary and really anxiety inducing. I'm not gonna lie.
Even when you'd already wrapped the project, you'd done all your work, you still had that fear that this might not be good enough. Your
I think,
performance, I guess.
yeah, I think I always hold myself to a probably unrealistically high standard or unreasonably high standard. And I think I always have a fear of letting other people down and letting a project down because of my performance. Absolutely, that it might not be reasonable, but it's true. And especially with a team that you really give a shit about, and you really love and learn to love and care for, and other actors who are absolutely fantastic. I think, yeah, I'm a double Leo. I'm very proud. Uh, and
Uh,
my work is something that I really care about, and games is something now that I'm not that I didn't care about it before. Like, I really cared about Baldur's Gate 3, but I think now, becoming a gamer myself, I really care about the genre, and really care about people's, like, I care about the audience, and what they get from a project. And when you're doing something so emotional, especially, yeah, that carries a lot of weight. And maybe that will lessen over time. And that is what therapy is for. And I do talk to I do talk to my therapist about that, for sure.
how often do you
Um,
go to therapy? Sorry if this is super.
I don't know, once a week. Once a
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
I highly recommend, if you have that. I realize that that is a financial privilege that I have now. Um, to afford that. And I wish it was a universal thing. I wish we could see therapists like we do GPs. And obviously we do get that on the NHS, but it takes a long time. And I do think, if you do have the means to do it, or even if you don't, you need it, please seek that out,
yeah,
because it changed my life when I started going to therapy. So I really want that for others. And also, don't give up on one because you don't like your first one.
yeah. I know.
It's
The
like dating. Find the right one. Don't write them all off from
how
one.
long have you been doing it for?
Um, since it was while I was recording Baldur's Gate 3, so since the pandemic, really. And
Yeah.
I've been off on therapy for a long time. But yeah, regularly. And since, yeah, I think I had a CBT, which worked and didn't. And then had more therapizing therapy, kind of, yeah, yeah, about 5 or 6 years. What
Do
year
you,
is it? What year are we in? 2025. Yeah, 6 years. 6 years.
do you ever go
Um,
in thinking I've got nothing to share, and then you end up crying by the end, kind of thing? And you've
obviously. I forget who I am, let
yeah, I
alone
know.
what happened in the last week and what I need to talk about. Aliona's really good at going, don't forget to discuss this, babe. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I had that meant to be last week. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'll mention that.
The you mentioned you read the script, so did this team give you the full script? Like, we're not going to go into spoilers, but you knew where this story was going with the ending and everything when you first
Oh,
started the first scene you recorded.
yeah. It was pretty
Oh,
it was pretty fully cooked by the time they got the us on board. And yeah, the mocap had been done by the amazing French team, the cinematic. So we were recording to the music, we were recording to the cinema, the animations. So that was an amazing launch pad, because we were just in it very immediately.
so you could hear the
um
music too. Oh
yeah,
my God, that's
and I
cool.
mean, what an
That's
easy.
oh,
Yeah,
beautiful
the
music.
music.
Unbelievable.
How
Oh,
good is the
it's
music?
so
Like,
good. Honestly, it's It is so good. It's
If
unreal.
this if that doesn't win awards,
Ah,
there's something dodgy going on.
honestly,
Do you
if
know
Geoff Keighley's watching, Jen for English must win, and
what I
Lorianne must win, or I'm never watching your show again, mate. Sorry. Um,
mean?
something's wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The music. By the way, highly recommend listening to the music whilst reading fantasy novels. It works so well.
oh yeah,
Hot tip.
that's a
Um,
hack. Yeah.
Also, I think Elise, the wonderful singer who you hear throughout, I think she had this thought the other day that she kind of works as our narrator. Like she kind of
Ah,
underscores it so beautifully with her voice. Like she kind of guides us through, and the music does kind of serve that purpose. And I love it so much. And some of it, like I will just redo fights over and over again just because I like the bop. Like, oh, why is Maelle so overpowered? Yeah, because you've done about 16 fights with the same gesture.
that's the one thing. If you keep dying, at least you get to hear the song.
Mm-mm-mm. I like the really like techno ones. They really are.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why
Francois had
can't
a
I
cool one.
sleep? Listening to techno music and dying over and over again before bed.
There's a
Stop it.
really cool one in the underwater section. Really cool track that
Mm.
I keep listening to. Probably my favorite. Yeah.
Like I like all the choral stuff. That like gives me tingles. I get proper goosebumps all over. I love it.
And
Love it.
yeah, it just keeps upping the ante. And then, some of these scenes, they're so emotional with that music. How do you approach those scenes? Do you draw on your personal life, or do
Mm.
you wipe that away and just get into the character's shoes? How do you kind of,
It's a mixture. I don't have a set, like a lot of actors will be like, yes, I use this Stanislavski method, like that's been
yeah,
perfected by Uta Hagen. Like I am a pick and chooser. Usually depending on the role, because you need like certain roles you click with and you're just like, don't need anything. Oh, got it. I got this. And others you're like, oh my God, I need a little process here. And sometimes it's the mood of the day. Maelle, I found her very easy. Not in that
really?
it's not easy, it's
Yeah, yeah.
enormously complex. And I had to do a lot of work of going, right, where is she at this point? What has just happened? Luckily, the script is there and very easy to navigate. And, I didn't have to do too much detective work because Jen and Guillaume are crazy, crazy geniuses.
Mm,
Um, but as far as the emotions were concerned, we didn't have a lot of time to go away and like get into it. It was a real like just throw yourself in. Luckily luckily and unluckily I'm an enormously emotional person and have a well of it at my disposal.
really? What, you can just go
Oh,
like
what?
that? That's no, but
um,
that's yeah.
yeah,
Just to bring it out so quickly though is a
yeah.
skill, kind of. Yeah.
It is a skill and it is a learned skill. Like that
Mm,
10 years ago, that would not have been the case. I think
really.
also a lot of life has happened in those 10 years or whatever it was. And so, for good or ill, I think it's about it. And like I'm very lucky that I can use that. Yeah, I don't have to spend hours sitting in a dark room bringing myself to it. But I just felt, I mean, even from my first audition, I didn't over prep Maelle because I didn't need to, because she felt very close to me very immediately. And uh, like even though that we obviously do have differences, I mean, I wish I could sword fight like that for a start. um but I relate to her a lot, and I you know I, like all of us, I'm not bringing out the tiny violins here, but like I think all of us have experienced loneliness and feeling disconnected from those around you, and especially as a teenager, my God. So it was very easy for me to understand her, even though I don't live in this fictional world where everyone dies every year. But I just got her and she just clicked. And I think as well I got to I got to act opposite. A lot of the dialogue had been recorded in advance, so I got to act opposite my wonderful castmates, and that really helps. Like when you've got beautiful performances that you're like just responding to. So yeah, I was really blessed, hashtag blessed, with fantastic performances from my beautiful castmates.
There's no
Um,
duds in this one, let me tell you
no
that.
dance. Unless I'm the dud. Oh no, what if I
No,
like there's always that fear where you're like,
no.
am I no, no, there's no duds.
Even the trash can man, Rich Keeble, yeah, even that, everyone does it well.
Like absolute shout out to Nicholas, who is the art director, who is one of the most talented artists out there. I mean, what a
Mm.
world! Just like sauntering along, going up, down, across. Like you don't want to waste any camera angle. You don't want to waste any detail. You're like, well, look at these trees. So
Ah!
beautiful, the detail.
Ah!
It's sumptuous. Sumptuous.
Oh, so you've done the opening, haven't you? You've seen the opening scene, the first few hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
emotional, isn't
You didn't cry, and are you okay? You're like I feel like you're in the minority. No, I'm joking. You react however you want to react.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so beautifully done, and for you to care so
I
much,
know, I
like
know.
from like you can do that scene in like 20 minutes, right? If you're not talking to every trash can, less than, and like the way it hits you, and that like I've watched that scene maybe 4 times now, and
Yeah,
every single time like oh, I think three out of the 4 times I've cried, and every time I've got goosebumps, like full body reaction. And it's not like I don't know what's going to happen.
it's
It's a lot.
unreal. Maelle, she's honestly, she's a bit different to Shadowheart. I mean, Shadowheart, she kind of, from a gameplay point of view, she let me down, Jen, quite a lot, you know. Yeah,
No,
but Maelle, man, she's overpowered. She's a beast. She's that bitch, you know. She is.
she is that bitch. She is that bitch. Can I just say about Shadowheart? If she's that, you're just not using her right. You're just not using her right.
Yeah, I
Like
know, I know,
that's a
I know.
skill issue. Like
It is a
you
skill issue. It is.
like get those spirit guardians going. You're
Oh,
laughing.
okay. You
Humby,
think?
get the Lathander's light.
Oh, wow, you really are a pro.
Only only because our wonderful audience has from streaming has made me a pro. But I do play a lot of the game
Who
outside.
who organized your streaming? Who's the OBS queen? Is it you or
I do that. I mean,
yeah?
Aliona does everything,
Yeah.
everything. Like she is queen. I do the technical stuff. I do the OBS very poorly, can I just say? Like I do get those levels wrong every time. Like everyone's always shouting at me to turn the friggin' music down, and I'm like, oh, sorry,
Oh,
my bad.
it's hard. It's hard, honestly. Seriously, it's hard. We've got some fan questions here. First
Ah,
up, should have kept says first, thank you so much, Jen, for helping create this game. It was amazing and has made me feel emotional in ways I haven't felt in a long time. The question is, how surreal is it to see a game having such success where you are one of the main faces of it?
it's really pinched me. It's really like I can't quite believe it. I think I'm so genuinely proud of it, and I love the game that much that it's just joy. And like I think it would feel different if I didn't know the team as well, if I didn't play the game, if I didn't like the game. But I've been really lucky that in the last couple of years I've only done projects that I really or characters that I really love. So that's great. But yeah, it's joy is the answer. A joy full stop. And yeah, what they've achieved is like we haven't really seen anything like it feels a bit historic, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and as I say, like like it's just nice not to let everyone down. So I'm really glad that people seem to to love Maelle too. I mean, how could you not with that writing, right? But still, there is a level of responsibility there. So there is a sense of relief. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you,
Um,
does anything change playing a character half your age for you?
yeah, for sure. Like I really, there's a lightness to Maelle, which is at real odds with her complexity. So it's about finding that physically for me, even though obviously you're not seeing my physical performance, but
You can
it's
feel it though.
yeah, you can feel it and you can hear it hopefully in her voice. Like
Mm,
she is certainly lighter. Like it's a tweak. Like I don't want to like
mm,
completely transform because then I'm giving something inauthentic to me, right? But like it's about kind of finding her breath. Her breath is different to mine. Her voice is lighter. Like she's a bit more like that. And
mm.
her consonants, like I'm a bit more like if you've spoken to teenagers, they don't give a shit about their diction. They're not there like unless you're in
Yes.
a boarding school in the 1950s or something. But like her diction is a little more like sloppy, I suppose. And she's like a bit messier with her speech or and like yeah, she's just kind of connected to her emotions in a really like deep way that we are when we're 16 and everything feels huge and dark. And actually for her things are huge and dark. So yeah, so there are a lot of tweaking going on. There's a lot of tweaking and uh yeah, I find I'm quite young for my age, so I like playing younger because I don't feel old yet. I don't feel jaded
do
and
you
cranky.
do you tweak things after big moments in the game? Do you do any
Oh
subtle
yeah, it goes on a
yeah.
huge journey, and
Mm.
that was the beauty of having Jen and Guy on there is that and our wonderful voice director Joe. Um, we were there to collaborate and really assess because sometimes things aren't chronological, right? You're doing scenes all over the shop, and so it's really important to go, okay, so this scene is coming after this moment, which is a real challenge, but it's a challenge in screen acting as well, like that you have when you're not shooting chronologically. So luckily they were there to like guide me through that and remind me where I was. But yeah, it's all about given like we call it in this is really wanky now, but we call it given circumstances. Like where have you just come from? What has just happened?
No, it makes sense.
That's a
Yeah.
huge part of your actor training and also like what certainly my process. Like I need to know what has just happened emotionally because
Well,
there is always going to be a kickback after that. You don't just like if I'm having an argument with someone, I don't scream at someone and then 5 minutes later, when I'm making my cup of tea and I'm calling someone else about something, that still is gonna, even though you
yeah, I
might be
know.
suppressing those feelings, that emotion is still in you. That's still there, and it's there vocally and physically as well as emotionally. So yeah, there's a lot of push pull play. Like we do a lot to make it look easy.
But
Do you know
that's
what I
not
mean?
in yeah, but that's not in every game. There are games where there's this big emotional scene, and then you're back in the open world, and the characters are all cheerful and having fun. You know what I
Like,
mean?
what the hell, man?
Seriously,
You
no.
were
There's
just
plenty of games.
screaming and like at
Yeah,
someone dying, and now
seriously.
you're there going like, "Hiya," yeah.
It is. It is a tough thing. It is a tough thing to do as a developer. But
Course. And like
yeah,
that's not necessarily like games are such huge productions
yeah,
and there are so many elements to it and quite often directors might not be given that info and actors might not be
yeah,
given that information and sometimes like you're doing stuff out of order and you don't know when stuff is being recorded. Is it after animations, is it before? There are so many components to it, so I think we can be forgiving of that because and it's usually never that team's fault. It's just they're working with the information they've got. So I think it's important for us as an audience to understand that they're not going, I'm going to
yeah.
choose to not give a shit now. Like it's just they just didn't know that was when that was coming. And that's really hard because as an actor that you're the one that gets the flack for that and you're like, but I didn't know that I was supposed to be in combat for that particular
Well,
line. you
yeah, I
know
know. Well,
yeah.
also like as an actor, you have no control over gameplay at all. So
Mhm.
you could have the best performance, but if the gameplay's shit, that does hinder the game, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
It's
Mm,
just like when you do a shitty film and you know like you're not lit well and
yeah,
the sound's crap or the
yeah,
costume looks a bit cheap like that's not the actor's fault, but the actor looks shit because of it, but you don't
yep.
realize like how much work goes into a good performance. It's not just the actor being good or bad at acting, it's actually all the teams around you that work together, which is why this game is so wonderful, because nobody drops the ball. It's
No,
this
no one does.
collaborative, juicy, brilliant thing that you don't notice any bad things because everyone's worked so hard to make it this
Well,
beautiful gem of the game.
I didn't even get a single bug or glitch too, which I think is really impressive for like 33 devs. Like
Yeah,
that's yeah, I didn't get a single one. Like that's you don't see that often, seriously.
that's
I'm
really
sure there
impressive.
are, but I didn't personally
Yeah, yeah,
get
yeah.
any.
But
Yeah,
even if there was, I think people would understand. Do you know
that's
what I
what I
mean?
mean.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Um, Jacob says cat or dog person, Jennifer, or Esquie person.
I mean, Esquire, obviously, he can swim. I mean, Esquire would be hard to have in my tiny London flat.
Hey, you get
Um,
hugs all the time. That'd be good.
yeah, true. I mean I am a golden retriever as a human, so probably I would have to say dogs. Although I do love cats that act like dogs. Do you know what I mean? Like I need a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
affection. So I'm like, if a cat acts like an affectionate dog, then I will be that cat's best friend for life. But yeah, just needy. I'm needy,
You
and
don't
I
have a
need
dog, do you?
no, we travel too much, and I would love
Yeah,
one. I'd
yeah.
love like a gnarly rescue whippet or something, that like kind of stank a bit. That would be great. I would love that, but no, we don't. We don't. We're just away too much.
Yeah, you
Um,
couldn't, you couldn't, yeah, you couldn't with your schedule. Just wouldn't
not
be,
not at the moment. Maybe in the
yeah,
future.
maybe in
I
the
would,
future. Yes.
I'd love a menagerie. Like I'd love like 6 cats, 7 dogs. No, I wouldn't actually. I'd get really bored. I like the idea of it.
I like the idea one day, maybe when I'm 60, to have like 30 golden retrievers, just, and we all hop in the pool and, swim together. But, it's probably not realistic, but
It's not, Dan.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
it's
Like I
not
don't want to
realistic.
shit on your dreams. That
Yeah.
is not a realistic dream. But you can still dream it.
Or maybe I can do a daycare, like where all the goldens
Yeah.
would
And
work.
then you'll go, yeah, actually, this isn't for me.
They're
My
shitting
dream was a bit
everywhere.
shit. My house smells of golden retriever now. Golden retrievers are the best. I love them. But they have that like oily smell that you can't quite get rid of ever. I do like it though.
Tasty, do your characters ever leak into your personal life? For
Mm.
example, you start saying things or adopt their speech mannerism. Interesting.
Um, I think I definitely learned a lot of Sass from Shadowheart and Maelle. I think they do leave something with you. The really important ones do, and like I don't know if there's anything conscious. Like I'm not like suddenly going on guard, but I do
Uh,
think they stay with you and you kind of grow a little bit, like they're little roots that take hold. I remember once doing a play where I played Phyllis from the Railway Children, where I played like an 8-year-old who, and I did actually adopt her walk, which was like kind of waddly and fun. Like you do like whether you even notice it or not, like they do, especially when you spend so much time with them. And
yes.
yeah, of course. I
Any
think
French swear words seeping in?
putain or putain, I can't say it right. Merde. I go through phases of thinking that I can speak French when I can't. Usually when I'm French shows and being completely deluded because I can understand French, especially written French, or no, maybe when I'm listening as well, if it's
Oh,
slow.
you can. Oh,
I'm
wow.
pretty good, but
Oh,
like
that's pretty good.
I can't speak it. Like I can
Yeah.
ask where your umbrella is, but like
Yeah.
but I don't know why. I just like parapluie. It's just really fun. Um, but no, yeah. And I'm trying to think if anything is like seeped in. I'm certain of it, but not like no affectations or anything. No,
Do you
but
reckon the sassiness, a bit of sassiness from Shadowheart, did you say, has
yeah,
seeped
for
in?
sure,
How
for
funny.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I think when you're kind of forced to, the brain doesn't understand the difference between imagination and reality, right? Which is why we have to be really careful about what we like, as an anxious potato, I have to be really careful of not, like creating my own nightmares. I'm sure a lot of us will relate to that. But you can self-sabotage a lot, right? But I think the opposite is true when like Shadowheart physically, especially, and Aliona really helped me create this, like had this like real, like she stands really tall and
Yeah.
has her chest out, and it's like people tell you before an interview to do the like Superman pose, where you like stand with your hands on your hips, and your body goes, yes, great, I am confident, and then that seeps into yourself. And I think so therefore, like with someone like Shadowheart, like a character like she's not a real person. There's lots of people think these characters are. They're not real. They are fictional, unfortunately. But
They're real to me, God damn it.
they're real to me. So when people you meet people and they talk about Astarion or Karlach, and you're like, you mean Sam and Neil, right? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
But yes,
I know.
like of course that seeps in, of course, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
PM, no question. Just passing by to say you were exceptional.
Thank you. As Maelle or just in life?
We're gonna say both. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm not exceptional in life. I accidentally put SPF in my hair this morning. Meant to go on my face, and I put it in my hair. So don't feel exceptional, but thank you. Oversharing with Jen.
Oh God, you are. Have you ever done stand-up comedy? Seriously, you'd be great
No.
at it. I
Not
really think you'd be great at it.
so I was like, there's a theory going around. I think it was from a TikTok, which is I think someone's podcast, which is either people are fun or they're funny. And I'm definitely fun. I'm not funny, but I'm fun. Like you want me at a dinner party. I'm great vibes, but I'm not like
Yeah,
funny. Aliona's
I
funny.
I disagree. I think
Oh,
you're funny
thanks,
and
Dan.
fun. Yeah, sorry. I don't abide by the TikTok
Yeah,
algorithm
stupid
rules.
TikTok. Do you ever do that where you're like, yeah, so I read somewhere that this theory, and you're like, it's from a TikTok.
Yeah, you can tell
I
too.
haven't read it somewhere. I've watched it on a TikTok.
What's your stance on the eternal debate, pancakes or waffles? I'm not PG.
Um, I always think I want waffles, and then I have them, and they're too doughy. I'm a pancake
Ah.
gal. I'm more of a crepe gal. I
Oh,
think
so a bit
that's
of French.
like,
That's French, isn't it? Yeah.
yes, bonjour,
Yeah.
bonjour,
Bonjour, un ami.
Genevieve Français.
Yeah.
No, I like on like it's called Shrove Tuesday. I don't know. Like, is that Pancake Day? Pancake Day we have in the UK. I don't abide by Easter rules, but like Pancake Day is on Shrove Tuesday, and there's like a, I don't know if it's a British pancake, but like it's so singularly British in my head. It's probably colonized from somewhere, but like are pancakes, and they're thin pancakes. They're not like crepes. They're different. There's a subtle difference, and that is my perfect pancake.
What's on your pancakes?
Or I get bored of the same pancake, obviously. So whatever. I quite like a savory pancake sometimes. We went to Amsterdam and had a great, it was like, it was a galette, and there was like there was creme fraiche going on. I think there was some roquefort. There was something else. There was something that it was delicious.
Yeah.
It was so good. I like a cheesy pancake. I like a
A
lemon and
cheesy. Yeah.
cheesy. Yeah, I like roquefort, like melty cheesy, delicious.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like a. Oh no, I've got to stop talking about pancakes. I'm just going to go on forever. I really like food.
Jennifer, you worked on two of the biggest RPGs in recent history. Should we trust you to find great games for us?
Three if you count Elden Ring.
Yeah, he's missed one. What are you doing, mate?
You've missed one. Look, I think there's a common misconception that I am choosing my games. And yes, I chose to audition for the games, sure. Um,
Uh,
but yes, I think people think like post Baldur's Gate 3, we're all like fighting off work and getting these amazing offers. And maybe I've had like one or two, but not many. Like and yeah, I can't afford my rent just from video game acting. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I have been lucky. I've been really lucky that I've been chosen for those projects. Yeah, I wish I could just get all the scripts of the next year of all the games and go, I would like to be in that one, please, developer. And they go, yeah,
yeah.
Jen, we love you, Jen. I'm going to hire you now, Jen. But they don't do that yet.
Well,
Maybe this will change things.
I think there's also, you got to remember, there's a time like the games take so long. So they
Mm.
probably already hired actors for all these games. And so that you
Oh,
got to kind of
absolutely.
wait until they've done that. And so there's kind of this waiting period. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, so you won't know what the game is until it's after it's cast. But also a lot of the time when we're actually most of the time when you're auditioning for a game, even if it's an existing IP, you don't know what that game is. You
Yeah.
just get given because of NDAs.
Yeah.
So like I auditioned for Carlotta in Wuthering Waves, which is one of the most fantastic characters I've played. She's so much fun and she's so badass and she's just this. I loved recording that game so much. But like I had no idea, like Wuthering Waves has been going for years. I had no idea it was that until I got into the room. So yeah,
Is
I
that a
just chose
JRPG, that one?
no, well, it's a gacha game. It's a gacha game.
Oh, okay.
I think I
Yeah.
know what that is now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that. Yeah. Oh, has that been around for years?
Yeah,
I
yeah, that's
thought
been around for a really long
so you came
time.
in as a new character and did a oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
she's this wonderful mob boss
Mob
that
boss.
kind of sound. I based her a little bit on Patricia Somerset's Princess Zelda.
Oh.
Like meets. There's a little bit of it's not quite Umbridge from Harry Potter, but there is that like sweet as pie, like
Ah, yeah, yeah,
I will
yeah.
cut your head off, like kind of feeling.
So
And
it's a villain. It's a straight up villain.
no, 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 no,
No?
no, no, it's not a
No.
villain. No, but there is.
Anti-hero?
No, I
No?
don't know how, if you can categorize her, Dan.
Okay, sorry, sorry,
Just living
sorry.
a
I don't want to
just living a
box
life.
anyone up. Sorry.
Just likes
Yeah.
to. She does murder people, but she's just living a life.
She
She's
does
part of a
murder
very
people, but
family that is or is not like the mafia. But like it doesn't matter.
by the way, before I forget, Elden Ring, did you
Mm.
get did Miyazaki the lead the force behind the game, was
Mhm.
he in on your recordings? Do you remember?
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
uh, yeah, we had a whole team there.
With a
It was really
translator.
overwhelming. But yeah, the whole team and lots of translators
Yeah.
um, and every line was very carefully crafted. It was
Yes.
very like, okay, yeah, no, that pace isn't quite right. You need to pull back.
Wow.
Like you're not whispering enough. Yeah, that's too loud, or like the pitch. Like like it was so specific and I loved that because it was a real juicy challenge and very different to the process with Baldur's Gate 3 which I was recording at the time. So thank God I'd done a lot of games by that point, because I think if I was like had just graduated at something, like I would have just fallen apart, because it was a real challenge. But I loved every minute of recording that game.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, I think if you can learn anything from all this, it's that, creative forces, creative visions, specific like visions, and not trying to cater to everyone seems to be the
Mm.
way to go. Like, you have a vision, stick to it. Don't try and cater to all these different audiences. Like, make the game you want to make. I feel like that's the last
Oh,
5 years. That's the message that's been coming out.
absolutely. And Sandfall are such a testament to that.
Mm,
They made the game they wanted to play. And
yeah.
as I say, like that might not be everyone's game, but who cares? And you really feel that from the audience, their love for games, and this does feel like a love letter to those games of their childhood. And it's really wonderful. I'm now going back and educating myself on those games. So like I'm playing Final Fantasy 9 at the moment, which I'm really really enjoying. I'm absolutely crap at it, but I'm really enjoying myself.
Good on
Um
ya. Good on ya.
and going, yeah, okay, I see they're drawing from
Mm.
this. I mean, it's still uniquely theirs, but like they have a vision, and they live by that, and they lived and breathed this game for many years, and they still do. I doubt anyone's having a holiday anytime soon, but like I wish they would. Come on now. Go on holiday. Um
Uh,
but yeah, like they're like their whole thing, just like their mission is just passionate, and it's so rewarding playing a game like that and just going, yeah, there is care in every pixel and every second of sound. There is love in this. To be a cheesy little bitch, but it is like there's so much love in this game, and I can totally see why people have fallen head over heels with it, as they
yeah.
bloody should. And it's like what a magical experience to be a part of.
It is very dark, like dark and bleak game at times, but it is also funny and beautiful,
mm,
and it's kind of everything, isn't it? Every
yeah, it
emotion
really
is,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. And this whole cast, like shout out to my castmates. Like they
Mm.
are every single person puts everything into their roles. And like some of the acting scenes I did with Ben, especially, who's now a really good mate, which like
Awesome.
I love that. Like those scenes were some of the highlights of my career. um and like I think people like don't expect that from actors working in games, like I think there's a real for people who aren't gamers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like I think people think like, oh yeah, like people would say that about like the Shakespeare I've done or whatever, but this is like this is better than any theatre I've done. And I've done my
you've
fair
done a
share of that.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, yeah, what a joy to
some of
work with brilliant writing and performances.
some of the scenes with you and Ben, no spoilers, but oof, they're brilliant. They are, and I just want to go back and rewatch them.
we were we were really lucky that we had this closer relationship with Guillaume, who would send us those scenes because he was just really
Oh,
happy them. We
nice.
got to watch them
That's
after we
cool.
recorded, like before anyone else. Again, something that I've
Never
never done
happens.
before. Um, and like we got to go to they invited us to their Christmas party, me, Ben, and Aliona, and we just sat and watched all the cutscenes like one by one. And there's like
Wow.
videos of Aliona, like just like because she hadn't seen any of it, and I'd been really protective of her, of the story. And like I just got videos of her like sobbing. Like, yes.
Oh, is it any different when she says it's like one of your best performances versus
Oh,
just the fan? You know what I mean? Is it different when your
absolutely.
partner
I
says
mean,
it?
obviously,
Mm,
obviously, and Aliona's the most honest person ever
mm.
I've ever met in my life. Too honest. Um, I love her. She's brilliant, and you just know that her saying that, like, she really means that. So yes,
Yeah.
of course, and
Yeah.
she's been with me throughout this and is in it, and
She
I
is
love.
Aliona's Plaza. Get there,
Yeah,
guys.
Aliona Plaza. Yeah, she's fantastic, and so many people didn't know that she
Uh,
was
I
free.
had no
Um,
idea. Bravo. I had no idea.
bravo,
Yeah.
bravo, and
Bravo.
like, yeah, she makes an impact.
Oh,
Aliona
yeah.
Plaza.
Does.
Aliona Plaza Nova.
By the way,
Yeah,
that's the opening scene. There's a few
yeah,
characters where she voices.
yeah.
Yeah.
See if you can get them, collect them like Pokemon.
Last one. What do you want people to take away from the character?
From the character, what do I want people to take away from the character? I think what's so wonderful about this game is the one of the many things. Can you tell I'm obsessed with it? Um, obsessed. I just want to play it. I'm going to play the game right after talking to you, and I'm a bit
I
annoyed
don't
that
blame you.
can't play the game. Um, I think the thing I love about it and is the philosophical questions that this game raises,
Mm,
and like even in your like Aliona um plays this character right at the beginning called Marie, where Marie is a bit of a dick, but she like to Sophie the character and says like why didn't you have children essentially, and like in this dying world, and like even like that
love
tiny
that.
interaction, and it sparked so many discussions with
So good.
us and the community of like, do you have children in a dying world, and like these tiny moments, and like let alone with the rest of the game. So yeah, I think I invite everyone to enjoy asking those questions of themselves, because philosophy can be fun. But no, I don't know. I don't know about anything else. It's too close for me to be like, yes, I hope you get this. I can't separate
Yeah.
myself at the moment. Maybe I will once I've played the whole thing. But I hope you love the game, and people who haven't watched the game or played the game even, I hope you do, and I really do, and I hope you encourage others to too, because this is something very special. It's an underdog story as well, which everyone loves an underdog, and Sandfall is certainly that, and I hope it inspires other indie devs who go, oh yeah, but we haven't got the funding from this giant company and that giant company. You can make a game, you can do it, and you'll have to pour your soul into it, sure, but you can. And I really hope this kind of allows other people to go for it, because if you've got passion and love for games and what you do, even not a game, even if it's a film or a book or whatever,
Yeah.
like you can do it, and this is evidence of that, and that is beautiful. Like, money isn't everything,
I know.
passions. So that's really what I hope people get from this whole story and this whole thing.
And thank you, Jen, for all your work on the game. And as I said, I think you should win every award there is for this one.
Very,
Personally, what do
very
I
good.
know? I just
What do I know?
just a
I don't.
I'm just a random guy, but
Not a
um,
random guy. I'm just a guy with an opinion.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. I really appreciate your time. Before I let you go, I always ask this, right? Uh, Maelle, can she say something to Dan to finish this one off?
On guard. That's just going round in my head right now.
Ah! No, doesn't she say Harry?
Parry
Whenever
it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love like hearing her frustration. Parry it.
I heard that a lot, maybe too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, because you're
Oh.
not parrying, Dan. You're not parrying hard.
I
Just
did
dodge,
it.
guys. Just dodge it.
I
Oh
didn't need
shit.
to parry.
Oh
You
no,
were
I
too
did.
strong. I didn't even need to parry. I was just wiping the bosses out. Easy.
I haven't even got a good. I haven't quite worked out all the levels and getting it right with
Hmm.
like yeah, with everything. So I need to watch some YouTube videos and like learn how to do it. But even then, she's still the best.
The badass. Follow you on Insta, TikTok. Any cons coming up?
Sure. Do you know what? I like my brain is gone. Yes, come and see me at the table wherever I am, and see Aliona too. We're very fun. Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Thank you,
Great.
Janet. Pleasure as always.